Hey TYT Nation, I want to do a video today on a magazine article I read a little while back, and I remember that on the other channel, the TYT channel, they're talking about the Iran war, and people are submitting videos about the Iran war and possible nukes and things like that. I mean, the media is stating it as if Iran already does have nukes. We know they don't. We know that they're not even pursuing it. But their media is pushing that they could pursue it. Well, anyone could pursue anything, and you can go a reason to go to war for that. Nonsense. But what I want to talk about, this article I read was the AARP magazine from February of 2011, and it was an interview. It was an interview with George W. Bush. What they did is ask some questions. Some of them were softball questions, nothing of great importance. But they did ask him if he had any regrets on his time in office. He did give an answer, though, that I found pretty surprising, considering George Bush's history of being pretty defiant with the media and his views on Iraq. And even though that in his time in office, during the end of his time in office, they quietly admitted that they were no longer looking for the weapons of mass destruction, and that they don't think that they're there anymore, things like that. But there are people out there who now believe this nonsense with Iran having nukes, that still believe that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, or that they moved them out of the country, or whatever nonsense. But so anyway, back to the question they asked him, on his regrets from his time in office. This was his answer. He said, "I regret not finding Osama bin Laden." Pretty much, I believe at this time he got a lot of flack for it, so that was kind of an expected answer there. But this is the surprising answer. "I regret the fact that Saddam didn't have weapons of mass destruction that we thought." This is George Bush admitting that Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction. Iraq did not have weapons of mass destruction. And there are people out there who still think that, that we found them, or that they were moved, like I said. So, I mean, this is a piece of evidence that you can give to these people to show them that, again, the media will push for any war, and will basically kill not just Americans, but people of the world for corporate interests, as always. And what I'm curious to know, though, is if George Bush actually believed there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, or if he knowingly went into Iraq, and knew that there was no weapons of mass destruction. From what you hear and what you've seen, from everything I've read, it looks like he honestly believed there was weapons there, that he was being manipulated. But, we don't know what really happened and what really went on. But what I found this answer interesting is because, like I said, George Bush has always been pretty defiant on this issue and with Iraq. And but he did say, "I don't regret removing him from power." That I disagree with. I think that the Iraq war was a grave mistake. I was in the military at the time, and I can assure you that a lot of people in the military before the war started were not for the war, and they did not believe that there were weapons of mass destruction there. I mean, it was something that we all talked about all the time before the war started. But the media pushed for it, the public began to jump on board, and next thing you know, we were in Iraq. But I wanted to bring this to people's notice, so that this is something that when people talk about Iran, you talk about those people, we need to get them before they get us, or Iran has nukes. You can bring up this piece of information that even George W. Bush now admits that Saddam Hussein never had weapons of mass destruction. Iraq never had weapons of mass destruction at the time when we went in. Did they have them in the 90s? Yes, they used them against Iran. But at the time before the Second Gulf War, no, they did not have them. The international community knew they didn't have them. But the media and the American propaganda machine pushed for the war. But again, the article is from AARP magazine. It's the January-February 2011 magazine, and it's the interview with George W. Bush. You can actually go online and look at the whole interview if you're interested. But I found this pretty fascinating and pretty enlightening, considering George Bush's stance on the Iraq War for many years. But this is, I believe, relevant to the Iran war that may be happening. You know, again, false pretenses for war, and you know, the international community again is saying there's nothing there. You know, but the American media is pushing it. I mean, even the American military and intelligence community is saying there's nothing there. But why the media keeps pushing this, I don't understand. I mean, this is the part I don't understand. If the intelligence community in America was pushing that there was something there, then I can understand. But even they're saying there's nothing there. So who's pushing this war? Corporations? I mean, I don't understand it. So, but here is, you know, it's an article that I think is important, that highlights mistakes, and it's important to check it out if you can. And definitely thank you for watching, and have a good one.